Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today, it's August 25, 2025. It is the 50th year anniversary of Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run album release. This album put Bruce on the map. It gave him the name The Boss, at least in the eyes of many of his esteemed colleagues and critics alike. Bruce is a force, and only in the year 2025, this year, have I really discovered Bruce, and you guys have seen my reactions on the channel, or if you're new, you can check out my playlists. I have discovered the gravity of Bruce Springsteen, his rock voice, his performances alongside the E Street Band. It's truly a wonder to behold. I love his showmanship. I love his performing ability. All in all, he's an amazing man, and to me, it's a great time when we get to react to anything Bruce Springsteen on the channel. And today, like I said, we're going to be checking out the entirety of Born to Run. Now, a bit of a disclaimer, if you are new here, for the most part, I've heard all of these songs on the album spread across my various Bruce Springsteen reactions, but I think there's only one track here titled Night that I haven't heard for the first time, so this will be a bit fresh on that side. But all in all, this is just going to be a fun sort of re-listen. Let's celebrate Bruce and his music together, and man, I couldn't thank anybody else other than Daniel the Inventive for making this donation request and selection today. Thank you very much, my friend. Now, let's just jump in. There we go. It's a wonderful way to start out the album.
Mary's dress waves like a vision, she dances across the porch as the radio plays. Roy Orbison singing for the lonely. Hey, that's me and I want you only. Don't turn me home again, I just can't face myself alone again. Don't run back inside, darling, you know just what I'm here for. So you're scared and you're thinking that...
I mean, not to pause it so early on, but the harmonica intro into these beautiful keys, and of course, Bruce's voice that is ever so identifiable, it does set the tone for everything that we're about to hear.
Don't run back inside, darling, you know just what I'm here for.
The storytelling mastery.
So you're scared and you're thinking that maybe we ain't that young anymore. Show a little faith, there's magic in the night.
Man, I haven't listened to Thunder Road in a while.
You're alright. Oh, and that's alright.
But it's so immediately recognizable.
You can hide beneath your covers and study your pain. Because lovers, the roses and the rain. Waste your summer praying in vain for a savior to rise from these streets. Well, now I know you're all that's understood. Or addiction knocking off a girl is beneath this dirty hood. With a chance to make it good somehow. Hey, what else can we do now? Except roll down the window.
hear this song now, I definitely think of inspiration. I think of dealing with the uncertainty in life and charging right through despite what we may not know is to come, traveling on that thunder road. And of course, when you have Bruce singing along in this way, everything is very bright around him and his voice is very forceful. It almost gives you that like air of confidence to pursue whatever it is that you would like to do. And in this case here, I think, you know, in all of the verbosity, there's a lot of words in this song. At the high level, we get the idea of enticing Mary, the, I guess, subject here, out of the mundane life and into the world of the glitz and the glam, at least a better future, whether we know what that looks like or not. Man, this is such a fun way to start the album off. I love the guitar work here. And it sort of sounds like embedded in all of this melodically is a bit of that harmonica. And it's cool that you have the song start out with the harmonica intro and then bookended. You know, also just to round off that song, I love the lyric about like, hey, this is a town full of losers. It's best we just get out of here and win instead. And, you know, it depends on which, like, motivational speaker you talk to, but oftentimes certain speakers, they'll say, like, man, you need to embrace every loss so that when you actually win, it is earned, because life, you know, you will only reach success after you've passed over many failures. And other people, they assert that, well, I guess other motivational speakers assert that winning is inevitable. It is actually your choice to win. It is your choice to lose. So when you pair both of those things together, I feel like Bruce is one of those very inspirational figures who can, again, catalyze you to move in a direction that furthers your life rather than keeps you there. And again, with an album named titled Born to Run, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit at home resting on your laurels? Or are you going to live your life's purpose, which is to run away, do something bigger than what you're doing now? Depends on who you ask, but I like asking Bruce Springsteen. And 10th Avenue Freeze Out. I mean, this one like sinks into your brain matter, you know? And what a great 2-song start, by the way.
Just on the city bed, scooter searching for his groove. Seem like the whole world walking pretty and you can't
I suppose it is worth noting that despite me having heard pretty much every single song on this record already, I hadn't actually heard every single one of these songs in their studio formats. Much of these songs that I've listened to have been in their live renditions, which, oftentimes with reaction requests, live performances of songs that many of the fans all know and love are what's requested. So then I end up hearing the live versions of these songs first. And, now many, many months removed from listening to the lives of 10th Avenue Freeze Out, I'm now getting to hear the studio, and I can tell the differences that there are structurally. Even the way that the song is kind of produced, there's a sparsity in this mix that you can kind of hear the actual individual instruments a lot more clearly because of the rest of the band, like the E Street Band, for example, being like shut out because they just are not a part of this production. So you can kind of look for those notes, compare the studios and the lives with one another. The keys are very pronounced here too. This is exactly what I wanted to hear today. I don't know why it's just hitting so perfectly. The rip-roaring sax. Yeah. Dude, I love these songs, and just in general, it is so interesting to hear them in their studio versions, in their studio forms. Again, because there are just so many staggering differences in the way that Bruce has performed these songs across the decades, the 5 decades of these songs being in existence and being in Bruce's arsenal. They just continue to evolve with time, and that's just one of the cool things. I even mentioned this the other day. I believe it was in a Fish reaction. The idea that evolution from an artist within a song is so much more interesting than people give it credit for, because if you have a studio version of a song initially, right, that will be what it is in perpetuity. It will not change. But what does change is how the artist decides to re-envision it with each performance, whether they do an acoustic one, whether they do a live big band or some kind of different combination. Maybe they restructure the song in a way that even defies the understanding of longtime Bruce Springsteen fans. There's so much possible in live versions. So again, when I get to now hear those lives first in my reaction journey and then go back to the studio, I almost get to do this like reverse engineering mental process to figure out like, man, why did they make the decisions that they did? And I can see why in certain moments, and you can kind of finagle the logic backwards. I don't know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Probably I'm just detracting from the music. All that to say, love Bruce, love the lives of this song, 10th Avenue Freeze Out. The studio hits just as hard. Let's jump in. What do we got next? I believe the next song, this is Night. Yeah, so I don't know Night. Let's check it out. Oh, I like this chord progression. Good melody. Oh, I like that slowdown. I'm trying to figure out what this song means, so that's what I'm listening for. You could probably say this about most Bruce Springsteen songs, but this song in particular feels extremely theatrical, and I love the section that slows down the pitch, or I guess the tempo of this track, because it almost like pauses everything in real time and lets us kind of simmer in that kind of, I guess, vocal performance conveyed by Bruce, rather than just let it pass us by. Because I think even up until this point here, in the album with 10th Avenue Freeze Out, with, oh gosh, now what is the first song? It's completely escaping me, Thunder Road. Those two songs, they're very verbose, and when you're listening as a listener, even if you are accustomed to Bruce, it can be a lot. So having moments of reprieve where we get to kind of sit, relax just a little bit in the slowdown of the tempo, it's a really good place to do it in the song. Let me pull it back a little bit. Yep, the slowdown. Highway ignites. Yep, and then back again. So it's just a little moment. Really energetic way to end that. Like I said, I was trying to figure out like what was the meaning of this song, because a lot of the lyrics I feel like I've heard in different Bruce Springsteen tracks just as I've listened. This song is about like venturing off into that night, discovering something new, a different path forward in life potentially, but I think it also, I guess, indirectly implies that the journey that's being taken may not necessarily lead to any place expected or sensible, like almost like you're on this journey in the night, but even despite it being filled with freedom and excitement, it may be a little bit meaningless. That's sort of the message I get. I feel like it's a bit of a complicated message in that regard, not just like one emotion about like, oh, I just want freedom of the night, or oh no, I think life isn't going anywhere. I think it's a combination of the both of those things. But yeah, that's my first pass for Night here. I like the energy in this one a lot. Great idea, I think, to just end the song with the sax, with the beautiful melody that got replicated in the piano work, then by Bruce's vocals, then by the sax. It's a very melodically congruent song. That's what makes the tempo slowdowns, the rhythmic changes, the moments of reprieve stick out that much more, because it is all so cohesive. When you do decide to alter a bit of the structure of the track within the song as we hear it, it kind of sticks out and plays its part very, very well. So what do we got next? This will be the fourth track. Let's see if I can remember. Alright, I remember that progression. This is because when I heard this live, the piano intro was different for sure. Let me listen back. That movement is so familiar to me. I think this is Backstreets. Yeah. God, the keys in this. Yeah, baby. This is hitting so hard.
Sohum faced that summer meeting,
Backstreets.
became friends, trying in vain to breathe the fire we was born in. Catching rides to the outskirts, tying fate between our teeth, sleeping in that old abandoned beach house, getting wasted in the heat. Yeah. High on the back streets.
God, Bruce is screaming into it. It's ferocious. I love it. You know, I love just, sorry for pausing so much. I know you guys may just want to only listen to the music. It just makes me think this idea of the Backstreets, like the thing that is unspoken. It's right underneath the surface, whether it's interpersonally, like in the case of a friendship that's falling apart, you don't have the same surface level understanding because it's all in the back streets. There's so many ways in life in which many of the problems we deal with are just swept under the rug, and we want to keep them hidden from the sight of others, whether it's fear of judgment, fear of ridicule. It could be really anything. And then we, instead of exposing our pain, our suffering, our malfeasance, or whatever it is to the world, we take the back streets and we do something that we don't want others to see. Because otherwise, why would we call it back streets or front streets or main roads? There wouldn't be a distinction. It would just be another street. There's a reason why it is back streets.
the beach at Stockton's Wayne, where desperate lovers part, we sang with the last of the Duke Street Kings. Huddled in our cars, waiting for the bells of rain. In the deep part of the night, winging at loose of everything. To go running on the back streets, running on the back streets, till we swore we'd live forever. Take me on them back streets together.
This is my favorite song so far. In the context of everything we're hearing, this hits.
When we shoot your hearts and down into your drag, we're dancing straight the tears up off the streets, just down in rags, running into the darkness, so it felt so really dying. At night sometimes it seemed to be that old damn city clock, burning the lights and colors, blowing the track down, ran us down. You can play all on me till you don't matter to me now. When the breakdown hit midnight, the world's broke down left inside. But I hate you, and I hated you when you went away. Whoa,
Oh my god. You hear the organ, the guitar, the crashes.
laying in the dark like an angel on my chest, just another tramp of hearts crying.
It really feels like the last 15 minutes were all building up to that moment. It is so complete.
Tears of faithless past. Remember all the movies that we go see, trying to learn how to walk with the heroes we thought we had to be. Well, after all this time, I find we're just like all the rest, stranded in the park, waiting for us to come fast too. Hiding on the back streets, hiding on the back streets, where we swore forever friends. Hey! On the back streets until
So cool. I love that this song has multiple applications, multiple meanings too.
hiding on the big streets, hiding on the big streets, hiding on the big streets,
Anthemic.
hiding on the big
This is where you all sing along in the crowd.
hiding on the big streets, hiding on the big
The preacher starts preaching, the crowd starts
streets,
slowly losing sense.
streets, hiding on the big 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 streets. What's alright? We go hiding on the back streets tonight. Hiding on the back streets, 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 hiding on the back streets. Hey,
Oh my god. Songs like this, performances like this are why I love Bruce. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's why we love Bruce. I love it so entirely when he screams out, when he growls, when he puts his all vocally into the track. Because that is, to me, so much of the character of Bruce Springsteen, his live performances, what I observe just of him as a person in interviews and the way he conducts himself. His energy even if you wasn't a musician, and I really don't say this for every single artist that I react to, because a great many people have a great variety in their skill sets. Bruce Springsteen, in my mind, he is one of those unique characters who you just want to hear talk. They don't even have to sing and perform and play the guitar and do anything really more to get my attention. I could just listen to Bruce speak. He would command the room. He would be the most interesting man in the room. It is just, there's something like intoxicating about his voice in this song that just, I'm all ears, It is so emotionally moving for me. Maybe this is my bias showing through. I love metalcore, rock, hard rock genres where oftentimes the vocalist ends up growling, screaming, being loud and out there, and maybe that's like there's like a psychological reason as to why I enjoy that, or just behavioral, and I've enjoyed it for a long time. But hearing Bruce do that in the context of the studio, it really then to me feels like the highest point so far has been with Backstreets. So to me, this is the best song so far. Let's check out the next one. Ooh, okay, I know where we're at. Yeah, self-titled, here we go. Really smart. 1, 2, Backstreets, Born to Run.
In the day we sweated out on the streets of a runaway American dream. At night we racked the mansions.
What a 5-song run this is. From Thunder Road to here.
Sprung from cages on Highway 9, chrome wheel, fuel injected and stepping out over the line. Oh, baby, this town rips the bones from your back. It's a death trap. It's a suicide rap. We gotta get out while we're young. 'Cause tramps like us, baby, we were born to run. Yes, girl,
It's the vocal melody paired with this melody that makes this melody so iconic. It's the two instruments.
Your friend, I wanna guard your dreams and visions. Just wrap your legs
There's the
around
consistent
me,
strumming in the guitar.
and strap your hands across my engine.
Really foundational for this track. Oh, the bright keys. What a dynamic song this is. Wow. And then put into the guitar the melody with the reverb and the delay. Ah, yeah.
Beyond the palace, heavy-powered drones scream down the boulevard. Girls comb their hair in rearview mirrors, and the boys try to look so far. The amusement park rides are full and start. Kids are huddled on the beach in the mirrors. I wanna die with you, Wendy, on the street tonight, and an everlasting kiss.
Cool.
The highways jam with broken heroes on a last chance power drive.
I mean, that may be just the most unique transition from section to section in the album so far. It is two wildly different feels collapsing into something that is familiar. It's one of the reasons why when I was first listening to Bruce, a comment that I made repeatedly was, it sounds amazing and it sounds familiar to me. I couldn't exactly piece where and how I've heard certain melodies or instrumental moments, and I've said this before too, but sometimes you just hear something that you know you've never heard before, and it is familiar to like the human psyche. It is just ingrained with you initially, even after the first listen. That section, this song in general, is one of those tracks. You just hear it, you feel like you've always heard it. Let's go back to that transition here. Descending, and then into the, like, where are we going? Intermission. Back to the race, back to the road. You know, and it's by this point that, like, if I was even to like have heard these songs only for the very first time, I know my brain, I would be completely sold at this point. Like, Backstreets would have already just done it for me, but by the end of Born to Run, you're just like, man, I need more. This is like literally addictive, and I can only imagine winding back the clocks 50 years ago, hearing, I mean, the first few tracks were that good, but getting up to this point, this almost like halfway moment in the album, you've never heard anything like this. And you're going to hear it for many, many decades to come. That is just how timeless the music is. It is just that good. That's why in my mind, I know that if I had only like been given this album to react to at the very, very beginning of my Bruce Springsteen journey, I know that whatever's to come after this, it's going to have all of that goodwill already earned by, by these songs. Hopefully that makes sense too. I know I talk about a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Now change the feel here.
With a killer graces and the secret places that no more can fill.
So I think I've only heard this song once.
Smile on her lips because she knows that it kills me. With a soft scream standing in that doorway like a dream, I wish she'd just leave me alone. Because French cream won't soften them boots and French kisses will not break that heart of stone.
It's very stripped back. I'm kind of surprised, actually. Almost feels like a huge bridge for the album. She's the one. And it kind of feels like it stands alone, you know? It's like a tree in an empty field. It's very identifiable. She's the one. That is the message. And you're gonna know it. Musically, it feels like that too. It focuses on the voice, and the rest of it is around him. It's a very interesting way to mix this too, by the way, with all the layers of his voice. the melody changed here. Oh, this is building. Wow. This moment is so earned. The whole build that this song has been. It almost sounded like the saxophone was literally saying, yeah, if you hear it falling. Right there. Yeah. It's so interesting that the saxophone can produce that human-like sound, literally a word. I'm super enjoying my time right now. This song definitely grew for me. Love the tone on that guitar too. This was an interesting one. I like the way that we started off like almost in a completely different world from what we've heard in the first 5 songs. It's almost like, does this belong here? This is almost like mixed differently. It stands apart, more apart than some of the other sections that I had pointed out that had stood apart before, right? So it is an entirely different feel to start a track off with, and then you pair it with the slow building process. Everything spatially feels like, well, this weird thing that I'm focusing on here, I'm like interested by it, I'm intrigued by it, but I don't necessarily knows if it belongs in this larger tapestry. And as we focus on it more, the wind walls around this this lone tree start to form, start to swell, and create this tornado of a song. I mean, if you can follow along with my visual for how I think about this song in this regard, then that would make sense. Otherwise, I must sound like a crazy person. But let's leave it at that. That song was a tornado, and it didn't start that way. It made its way there. Oh yeah, this is a unique one, starting with the almost like across the way trumpet, the super noir feel, right? It's beautiful. It's such a gorgeous feel.
Can you lend me a few bucks tonight? Can you get us a ride?
Now I'm just thinking Breaking Bad, crossing the border, doing the deal.
The tunnel. Got a meeting with a man on the other side. And Eddie, this guy, he's the real thing. So if you wanna come along, promise you won't say anything.
And you hear, this is a subtle thing. I think I noticed it the first time, but I don't know if I brought it up. You can hear when he asks the other person to like acquiesce, the chords underlying what he's saying change.
So if you want to come along, you gotta promise you won't say anything.
Right on thing. Say anything. That chord change, it kind of introduces a level of ominousness to the track that, though it's already there through the feelings that are given by noir and a bit of that like ballad-esque feel, it's a twinge different, and it's so interesting, and to me it draws me further into the story.
He's the real thing. So if you want to come along, you gotta promise you won't say anything.
Because it's very major, and then it goes into this like minor, and then back to major chord.
The word's been passed since our last chance.
Another major, so now we're fully in that direction. But then the voicing changes and it's minor again.
Gotta stay cool tonight, Eddie, 'cause man, we got ourselves out on that line.
Yeah, this song, this is like a masterclass in understanding undertones, overtones. You know, there are certain things like in guitar playing, for example. If you're playing a chord, you can also play an inverted version of that chord that allows you to choose a different one of the notes as the root, thereby giving the actual chord, despite all the notes being the same, a different feeling. Because now the root note, the lowest frequency, is going to be a different note as per the inversion, and then the referential notes as part of that chord are going to sound differently, instead of those notes being the lower pitch, for example. So if you look for those moments in these unique chords and then find the movement in those foundational notes, in those inversions for the progression, oh my god, it's getting too complicated. If you can find those root notes for the progression, following that melodically is so interesting. And then you stack on top of that the movement from major to minor, minor to major. There's many things to think about at once melodically, and is all being handled very well to support the story.
We gotta stay cool tonight, Eddie, 'cause man, we got ourselves out on that line.
The movements are subtle too, I gotta
And
say.
if we blow this one, they ain't gonna be looking for just me this time. And all we gotta do is hold up our end.
Chord
You stuff
masterclass.
this in your pocket, it'll look like you're carrying a friend.
Yeah, this song is just these chords, man.
Remember,
Love it.
just don't smile. Change the shirt.
And the trumpet all along, just responding to the melodies in Bruce. Oh, and fitting the underlying chord progression too. I'm nerding out over this song, let me tell you. Whoa.
But Cherry says she's gonna walk, 'cause she found I took the radio and hocked it. But Eddie, man, she don't understand that $2,000's practically sitting here in my pocket. Tonight's gonna be everything that I said. And when I walk through that door, I'm just gonna throw that money on the bed. She'll say this time I wasn't just talking.
It's funny because I haven't even talked about the bass line here. There's been so much to unpack melodically here, but of course the trumpet blasting away, Bruce narrating the story expertly, the chords doing what they've been doing, all of that craziness, and then what we have in the bass line, super fun track to listen to. Not to mention like the actual story that Bruce is singing, not just the way that he's speaking about it or singing.
I'm gonna go out
It's like
walking.
5-6 different layers already, and then you can just add more. It's a great song. and a departure from what we've heard. Yeah, it's a very fresh song. Probably the most experimental, maybe, on this album. That's at least how I would take it. Wow. Wow, wow. It's like this is the journey, you know? Now I'm reminiscing. And there's so many different versions of Jungleland too, so it's just interesting, you know, to start off with the strings in this way. Brighten it up. Yeah. Oh my god, this is so gorgeous. What a great, great way to put this album to rest.
The Rangers had a homecoming in Harlem late last night.
Yeah.
And a magic rat drove his sleek machine over a Jersey state line. Barefoot girl sitting on the hood of a Dodge, drinking warm beer in the soft summer rain. The rat pulls in the town, rolls up his pants. Together they take a stab at romance and disappear down Flamingo Lane. Well, a maximum lawman run down Flamingo, chasing a rat and a barefoot girl. The kids around here look just like shadows, always quiet, holding hands. From the churches to the jails.
Oh, the huge organ. Oh, we gotta listen to that moment again.
The kids around here look just like shadows, always quiet, holding hands. From the churches to the jails.
Huge wall of sound right there.
As we take our stand down in Jungleland. Well, midnight gangs assemble and picked a rendezvous for the night. They'll meet neath that giant Exxon sign that brings this fair city light. Man, there's an opera out on the turnpike. There's a ballet being fought out in the alley until the local cops cherry top rips this holy night. The streets alive, the secret debts are paid, contacts made, they vanish unseen. Kids flash guitars just like switchblades, hustling for the record machine. The hungry and the hunted, exploding in rock and roll bands, and faced off against each other out in the
It's so expansive. It is so huge. Wow, I love it.
roll bands.
Never gets
Faced
old,
off
man.
against each other out in the street. Down in Jungleland.
brain is that good. Oh. Only Clarence, man. That is insanely good. What? Clarence, bro. It's exhilarating. Actually in outer space here. Oh. We got launched into outer space and now we're just grounded back on Earth here. Oh, it's just all in those notes, all in those chords.
Beneath the city, two hearts beat.
I'm sorry, I gotta hear that transition again. Those notes, a bit of harmonic minor. Whew.
Beneath the city, two hearts beat. Soul engine
This is a closer.
a night so tender. In a bedroom locked in whispers of soft refusal and then surrender. In the tunnels uptown, the rats on dream guns him down. The shots echo down them hallways.
Gorgeous.
In the night.
The realness in Bruce's voice, the bright piano, organs now.
Where's the girl shuts out the bedroom light? Outside the streets on fire in a real
It's like operatic, right?
Between what's flesh and
These
what's
movements and
fantasy.
emotion, they're huge.
Man, the poets down here don't write nothing at all. They just stand back and let it all be. And in the quick of the night, they reach for their moment and try to make an honest stand. But they wind up wounded, not even dead. Tonight in Jungleland.
much going on here. What are these textures? Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, if I don't know how to do this review now. Oh my god, if this isn't a statement album, I don't know what is, man. I mean, what a way to start with the harmonica, so bright, so fresh. It rarely returned throughout the rest of the mix, throughout the rest of the album. At the end, we have this huge wailing section, the piano butterflying above. I mean, you know, I knew all of these songs that I'd already listened to in their various versions live, and I think a few of these studio as well that we were going to be in for, because all of these songs are bangers. But dude, the way that they hit all in sequence from the start to the finish, and having the context of what we heard before, it is such an illuminating experience for me. I almost feel foolish not having done Born to Run many months ago when we had already visited many of these songs. I guess it is just the way it is when time is a limited thing. But man, this album I would recommend to anybody looking for, you know, who isn't already a Bruce Springsteen fan, looking for an extremely fresh but also originating voice in rock. I mean, is so unique. It is so monumental. Each of these songs has its unique character, and the thing is, stringing all 8 of them together back to back, all in this way, touching on the concepts of freedom, of togetherness, of not being enough, of doing too much, of not being connected with the world in the ways that we ought to, right? There's so many topics that this album covers. It is just, it has to be a Mount Rushmore album, right? And I don't know how you guys use that term, Mount Rushmore. I've been recently using that term a lot more. Just albums that exist in a certain field. In this case, the field, the genre would be rock music, right? Albums that exist in rock that are just formative, that are existentially required to define the album. Almost without them, you would be creating sort of circular definitions without some place to root it in. This is amazing. I mean, and to incorporate saxophone in this way too, making it even larger than the music itself, larger than the meaning of some of these tracks, if not maybe larger and being more of a comparator. Instead, we can switch that frame and say that it's more of an accentuator. It amplifies rather than stands alone in these tracks, because the saxophone at a very high level, it is so well oiled. It mixes well with everything instrumentally. So it is an amplifier. It magnifies every single emotional moment, ripping apart the track where it needs to, being loud and, you know, propagating energy where it needs to, or, you know, allowing us to kind of simmer and reside in some of those, you know, moments of reprieve. So I mean, there's just infinite number of things to talk about with this album, but I'm so happy today to be honoring Bruce Springsteen in this way. Thank you so much again, Daniel, for sharing this album with me, with Bruce, with me over the months here, and, you know, making this request for the album today. It is much appreciated, my friend. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and want to request one yourself, you can do so by clicking the first link in the description box below. It's the best way to support my channel. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.